Hi, today we're going to learn how to work with exponents. The first principle that we want to learn about is what an exponent is and what it acts upon. So let's take an example like 4 to the second. In this case, we call 4 the base and we call 2 our exponent. An exponent is a number that tells us how many times we multiply the base against itself. So in this case, our base is 4. So the exponent is telling us to multiply the base against itself, the base, twice. So we have 4 times 4. Therefore, 4 squared can be written as 4 times 4, which is 16. Another example that we could have is if we had, say, 3 to the 5th. Here, the base, which I'll abbreviate B, is 3, and the exponent, which I'll abbreviate with E, is going to be 5. This is telling us that we are multiplying the base 3 against itself, which is 3, 5 times. And I'm writing these dots in here to represent multiplication. So here we're representing 3 times itself 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the expanded version of what this expression is. Therefore, if we wanted to evaluate it, we would go ahead and actually multiply all of these threes against each other 5 times. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 3 is 9. And then 3 times 9 is 27. And 9 times 27 is going to be 27 times 9. 63, 18, 24. 243. Therefore, 3 to the 5th equals 243. The vocabulary that we would like to go over is that 3 to the 5th is an expression that we call is an exponential notation. Exponent is part of the root of the word exponential. If we have an expression where there's an exponent, we call it an exponential expression or exponential notation, since we're noting that there is going to be a 5 that's an exponent. Here, when we actually see what the value of 3 to the 5th is by multiplying the base against the base 5 times, we see that we get a quantity that's 243. This number, 243, is what we are considering the evaluated quantity of this original expression. 3 to the 5th in its evaluated form is 243. We're looking for an actual number without an exponent when we evaluate. So let's take a practice. What would, say, 2 cubed, 2 to the 3rd, be evaluated? Again, this is an exponential notation, 2 to the 3rd, where the base, I'll abbreviate with B, is 2, and the exponent, I'll abbreviate with E, is going to be 3. Well, let's first write this in expanded notation. If we want to expand what this expression means, we would take the base and we would multiply the base against itself as many times as the exponent tells us to. In this case, 2 needs to be multiplied against itself 3 times in total. Therefore, if we wanted to then evaluate what this exponential notation was, or if we want to evaluate its equivalent of the expanded version, we would multiply 2 times 2, which is 4, and 4 times 2, which is 8. Therefore, 8 is the evaluated quantity or value of what 2 to the third is. So that's how we use exponents and apply them to bases.